sidecar action now for the Australian 1000cc Sidecar Grand Prix as the field organises itself on the dummy grid. Reigning champion of the Australian Sidecar Grand Prix here at Bathurst is Doug Shivers. And Doug, it's the first time for the new bike.
Yes.
You looking forward to it?
Oh, yes, for sure.
It's a fairly tense moment.
Yeah, I am. I'm a bit toey on it.
Good luck. Hope you can make it 3.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Doug. Doug Shivers, passenger Margaret Halliday. It's the first time for you also in this new chair. How do you feel?
Oh, very nervous today.
Can you make it 3 out of 3?
Well, let's hope so, but you can never really tell, can you?
One of South Australia's leading sidecar exponents, Andre Bozeman. You've got one of the better 4-strokes in this event.
Yeah, well, I think it is. It's always the first one home.
You've been doing a good job in recent years. Can you carry on with that this year?
Oh, I think so. We're going to do all the rounds. We've got 13 in Tasmania, and I think we'll do better in the next 5, well, hopefully.
Leading contender for the Australian Sidecar Grand Prix, Graham Biggs. Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, I am. I think I can win. Yeah.
The bike looks to be prepared very nicely.
Yeah, put a lot of time in and it's flying at the moment. Yeah.
There's some talent around you. Who are you going to watch out for?
Oh, only Doug, I think. He's the only opposition, I think. I don't know, it depends on that corner up there. We all get around that, we'll get away all right, you know. I think there's another second in the car, you know, off that lap record.
How's your form been of recent months?
Oh, pretty ordinary. I've never done any good.
Coming up now for a start in the Australian Sidecar Grand Prix over 6 laps of Mount Panorama. And they're the people who are expected to win it. Doug Shivers and Margaret Halliday, the undisputed champions. But a lot of confidence about that they could be knocked off here at Mount Panorama this weekend.
Bike number 67 there, Graham Biggs and Jim Colligan in the chair. Standing by for a start. Shivers looking for victory number 3 on the trot. A huge field of sidecars. The Colligan-Biggs combination, one that's been doing well lately. Now the revs build, the field draws away. Shivers stop, stall the bike. Look at the field try and thread their way through. Halliday out trying to push it, and Shivers himself indicating to the field about the problem. Well, that is going to spell disaster for them. They have around about 40 machines to round up if they can fire the bike back
and there's
up.
a prang on Murray's corner as well, on Hell corner as well on the first lap. Bikes all over the shop, but it's a clean start for those in the lead.
And it's 27, Andre Bozeman doing well. From 67, Graham Biggs. In there as well, 32. And that was Barry Ditchburn from Victoria, the reigning Australian sidecar champion. So this field has really been carved up. Greg Neal there threading his way back through the field the wrong way. And look at Bozeman. We spoke to him prior to the start. And Shivers is away. Well, heading up Mountain Straight. And look at that, he's given away almost half a lap to the leading contenders. Here is Shivers. Ex-Jock Taylor machine, having returned from Europe last year. And victory number 3 is now going to be a very difficult proposition for them.
Over the top of the mountain for the first time. It's Biggs in second position.
Houston over there on 47, behind him Mal Evans. Already the chairs have spread out somewhat, but Bozeman is gassing on the 4-stroke. Vince Genova, 47, sponsor of young Donny Osborne, former motocross rider. Bike number 17 there was Neville Hazelman from Victoria. Graham Biggs has made a good start. Been to Bathurst for the last few years and come away without goal.
Bozeman, simply by leading this event on the first lap, confirming his place as having the fastest 4-stroke sidecar in the business in Australia. And there goes Shivers now through in almost last position, the full length of Conrod Straight plus some to catch up. That's Bozeman at the end of Conrad as Shivers enters the straight at the start.
So Bozeman through at the end of lap number 1, the leader on machine number 27. 1000cc 4-stroke Suzuki. Biggs and Colligan in second place. They've opened up a handicap and some trouble here. Bike number 23 involved, and that was Dave McLaughlin, passenger Martin Long, and I think what could be bike 85 there in the background, John.
Yeah, Warren Thomas on the Suzuki.
Oh, and I think another machine in strife down there as well, just missing his braking point. So there's some oil or perhaps some trouble down there on the circuit, perhaps even debris. But look now as Graham Biggs and Jim Colligan close the gap on the leader.
And this is really what they wanted, to be able to rid themselves of the spectre of Doug Shivers just once in their life, to be able to race at Mount Panorama for the lead. And Bozeman's not going to give it away that easily, believe me.
There's Shivers in 11th position. So what a remarkable performance to have gone through 39 competitors and come up to 11th into lap 2. Bike 17, that was the man that almost went off along the pit straight, Neville Hazelman from Victoria, and now the reigning champion, Doug Shivers, is all over the back of him like a cheap suit.
Here's the leader, Bozeman, through Castrol Curve, really howling on the Suzuki 4-stroke.
Doesn't it sound good?
Oh, yes.
Biggs and Colligan. Colligan, in fact, a former Australian and state motocross sidecar champion. So he's no stranger to being thrown around in a chair. And there's Shivers and Halliday. All the time picking up placings. Genova there. Bike number 47, passenger Mark O'Brien. There's the leader. Oh, more trouble.
It's Hazelman. It's the yellow bike. It's got to be Hazelman's bike.
Well, they've been in strife right throughout this race, John. We saw them get into strife at the end of the pit straight, and they've now rolled at the top of the mountain. Here's Greg Neal from Queensland, and he's not going as well as we fully expected. He practiced well, but he's back in the midfield at the moment. And Shivers.
Well, that's 2 major accidents down in the sidecar race. And that'll slow the lads down a bit, I would suggest, as they see the debris around the circuit.
Down Conrod Straight. Imagine the task of the sidecar rider. Literally centimetres off the road, and look here, a new leader as they go to the top of Mountain Straight. Graham Biggs and Jim Colligan lead the Vesra Australian 1000cc Sidecar Grand Prix. Bozeman wants to argue all the way, and in fact brings the 4-stroke up alongside, now dives to the inside, but Biggs, how close was that? Slams the door in his face, and the two of them now set to do battle at the top of the mountain. Still more trouble up here, so the yellow flags will be out.
And that's a wreck that's going to take quite a deal of fixing. That's Hazelman's bike for sure, bike 17.
So that now being cleared off the circuit as we await the leaders. And this is a fascinating battle between Bozeman and Biggs. Here comes Biggs. Colligan with his backside literally dragging on the road as he came through the left hand. The yellow flag out. You can see the skid marks on the road. Dave Kellett working hard in Bosman's chair. Oh, look at that passenger's wheel coming off the ground yet again. I don't think you can come up with a more scary place to ride a sidecar as you can for Bathurst. It must be a daunting task coming across the top of the hill. Greg Neal and John Flood going through on the Transact 700cc machine.
Just in front of Genova's bike.
Using one of the centre hub steering type sidecars, very popular in Europe in the World Championship. There's Mal Evans. He's now 2 places ahead of Doug Shivers and Margaret Halliday. Now, look at Shivers.
And up the main straight.
Gives you an idea of the gap. It's half a lap between the leader and Shivers. About the second and third. Bozeman dropping away a bit.
It's Genova. And the Castrol Curve. Oh, and someone's off. You heard the scream of the tyres.
Hard to pick up what's happened there, but officials racing to the inside of the track. I can't see a bike there at the moment, John.
Well, certainly got to be someone over the side there. We'll find out about that, I guess.
So Biggs the leader, Colligan still working hard. Look at their very tight line there as the ambulance is on the scene where Hazelman came unstuck at the top of the mountain. So the man that split them the last time through was Barry Ditchburn. I think he's moved up into second place now on bike 32 on the white machine. Andre Bozeman dropping back a fraction in third, and all the time Doug Shivers is closing the gap. Greg Neal into 4th position. Behind him, Genova, and then Shivers. So Shivers is into, what, 6th position?
And riding the race of his life, Margaret Halliday really scraping leather. And Shivers throwing the sausage machine around the circuit.
1 lap remains in the Vesra Australian 1000cc Sidecar Grand Prix. Can Graham Biggs from Ballarat in Western Victoria hang on and take his first ever Grand Prix? There's 3rd place Bozeman. Yellow flag is out at the end of the straight, and in fact the oil flag out there as well, and you can see that just to the right of screen the ambulance on circuit flag is out. There's more flags than you can imagine, and here's the battle for the minor placings. Greg Neal on 2, Doug Shivers on 12, the blue and white machine. So there's some real drama again in the Sidecar Grand Prix. It's been the trademark for the last few years for this event. Another flag out here in the right hand of GDX where that rider took to the grass.
And the word comes through that it's Mal Evans who's off the track there.
He's gone right down the embankment, yeah. So look at this, the battle for the lead. And Biggs is balked. Ditchburn getting closer all the time, the former international solo rider.
Too far back to be in contention now is Margaret Halliday and Doug Shivers, rather.
One of the marshals there on the inside. Still problems at the top too with Hazelman in the hands of the St John's Ambulance Brigade as the battle rages for the lead. Biggs and Colligan trying to hold out Ditchburn in 2nd place. Bozeman in 3rd with a real resurgence towards the end. And in fact, Bozeman now making a real throw for 2nd place. A long way from over is this race. Half a lap remains, just on 3 kilometres plus Conrod Straight. And one of the riders who's got the best toe benefit down the straight is going to come out here on top. Look at Shivers rounding up Genova on the outside, now attacking Greg Neal. Yellow flag still out. What a scene. Shivers makes another place. Goodness me. How can you ride around the outside through the dipper? Well, you can't, because Doug Shivers didn't make a place up there on Greg Neal. And all the time, this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th is raging. Another great battle at the head of the field continues as they get towards the bottom of Conrod Straight. And look at it. Graham Biggs and Jim Colligan side by side with 32 Ditchburn and Genova. That's Laurie Genova in the chair. What'll happen? Slower traffic. Under brakes to the left-hander, and it's Biggs who takes the line. The checkered flag out, and Graham Biggs will win the Grand Prix, but only just. Ditchburn in 2nd, Bozeman 3rd. What a great race. After 6 laps of the Australian Grand Prix, Biggs the winner from Ditchburn, Andre Bozeman in 3rd.
It's with regret we note the passing in hospital 1 week after the Grand Prix of Mal Evans.
Our next event on the